All right, praise from both sides of the political aisle. Pouring in for President Trump's peace plan, Democratic Senator John Fetterman, got to give this guy credit, saying, quote, "Our parties are different, but we have a shared ironclad commitment to Israel." And Congressman Richie Torres, a Democrat from New York, says we should all be rooting for the success of an agreement that secures the release of the hostages and the ends of war. GOP Congressman Derrick Van Orden sits on the House Armed Services Committee, Navy SEAL background, visited Israel in the immediate aftermath of the October 7th attacks, and joins us now. So, Congressman, you're a war fighter and you're a legislator who've been to Israel at the most crucial time. What hesitation do you have with this implementation of the deal, if any?
Well, first and foremost, let's thank President Donald J. Trump for his leadership. This would not have happened without him exercising peace through strength, and he deserves the greatest accolades that can be delivered by the international community. Here's my concern. I do not trust Hamas. As you said, I was in Israel immediately following the October 7th attacks, and the barbarity that these folks exercised in an unprovoked manner against the Jewish people is unprecedented in the 21st century. So what we need to do is make sure we get all of the hostages back now, those are dead and alive, put their families at peace, and then we'll deal with the other 19 of the 20 points of this plan.
So do you remember what happened when we put Paul Bremer and others in the transition team in Iraq? They didn't like the idea of a Western leader. It doesn't matter who it was. Do you worry about a peace council with Tony Blair, possibly of one of the faces of it, in Gaza? Do you worry about that perception?
I do. We have to understand that these folks have been living in a bubble for decades. And what is telling is that the entire community in the Middle East has lined up with Israel and the United States and telling these savages of Hamas that they need to get their act together. So what this peace council looks like, the actual composition from the international community is important. But what is most important is that we make sure that we understand that Hamas is not to be trusted and that we must watch them day in and day out, and they must adhere to these provisions of this peace accord by the numbers.
This guy, Marwan Bourgadi, who's been in jail, he was a Palestinian Authority member. He seems to be the symbol that they want out. Nobody thinks he's a member of Hamas. He talks about a two-state solution. The Israelis are reluctant to let him out. Do you have a sense of what we should do or what they should do there?
I think what the Israeli government needs to do is make sure that the members of Hamas adhere to these provisions. It's pretty simple. So the amount of people that the Israelis are going to have to release to get their hostages back is just remarkable. And this is their decision.
1,975, including 250 on death row.
That's correct. And Brian, honestly, I disagree with this strategy, but this is the Israeli government's decision to get their people back. I am not a fan of negotiating with terrorists. These people are terrorists. That's who they are yesterday. That's who they're going to be today and tomorrow. So the Israeli government collectively has made a decision to get their people back, and I can respect that. But I respectfully disagree with it. 20
seconds. Do you think that both sides will realize the president's going to be in Egypt signing a historic deal, that they'll go back to work and start working towards a different deadline and unlock the government? Is there a chance of that?
Brian, the Republican members of the House did their job. The Democrat members of the Senate are holding the government of the United States at bay because they want to have health care for illegal aliens. And that's just not going to happen. Here's something else we've got to say. President Trump goes over to Egypt. The Palestinians better understand that Donald J. Trump is not mincing words.
Right.
They will adhere to this peace agreement or they will be held accountable.
I know. Congressman, thanks so much. Look forward to seeing these breaking developments in the government as well as overseas. Derrick Van Orden, thanks for getting up with us.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.